Many of the media houses have sold out. They've become PR agencies of the government.
The core agenda of the BJP is promoting Hindutva.
Hindutva politics is against the basic structures of the constitution.
Northeastern states, though they have nothing to do with Hindutva, most of them accept it because they are dependent on center for money.
As of now, it appears that the BJP, willy-nilly, whether we like it or not, is likely to return to power.
Tiba Fabian, kidon pa kibaong ba ka BJP kanom la banyo palan arspa lai poll ni arspa sa potli seats. Mentakan ti kabamud ba ka jing job ka jongka ka jing job bun tli seats kan hiar dah nyo potli seats banya nujor bat ka lai spa lai tli ka ba ka yo haus nem ara jar ka kendai. But kidon kiba ong baga ni ka laban jan na gadaw jong ka jing do no jong ka jing kersha na ki jala kum ka jala Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh and Bihar ka ba ka BJP ka klan ba hatu pitharay ka long kum ta.
Kung ang ikong pat imla ban tip exactly what the result shall be, but probably the BJP will not get the same number of seats it got in the last elections. But since it stands on the Hindu ideology, and we have about 80%, 79% Hindus in India, most probably it will still come to power. That is my observation. One is because the opposition alliance is broken up. If the India alliance could stand firm, united, most probably the BJP will not come into power. But since I saw the clash between the leaders of these parties and they have broken up, most probably BJP will still come to power, but with less number of seats. And that is a good sign because we need strong opposition in India. We don't need, any party can be the ruling party. Always we have the ruling party, but what we do not have all the time is a strong opposition. So I wish for a strong opposition.
I think that is the reason why they are concentrating on different states in the northeast like Meghalaya and Nagaland, where they have relied totally on the allies, you know, like the NPP or the NPF. Reverend Prato, the way the BJP is projecting itself is nothing short of the art of boasting, which other political parties also do adopt from time to time. But they expect a strike rate of over 80% this time, which many political analysts feel it is impossible, or many would put it in a flowery language, saying that they are living in Modi's paradise. What do you think?
Thank you, Kongiba, the other co-panelists, and also the students of the university, and also the viewers who are beyond the campus. Mongi don mentang ni begini keren, Shillong lele ke election ni bakal arhem hadu kata, sama dan bok kan 40 ni terman kan 60 iru, awan no usulap kumni. Yes, it's very interesting question that you asked. See, you look at BJP historically, mulai dari Biden, siapa menor, ya ke history jong ke BJP. Before 1990s, the BJP was insignificant in the politics in India. The rise of the BJP can be traced to the Ayodhya movement. Because whether you like it or not, BJP is using religion for political gain. And there is no second guessing that BJP believes in Hindu nationalism. And yes, this election to the 18th Lok Sabha, they are aiming at 400 seats. But I must thank the people of Meghalaya, even though we are small, we have only 2 seats. I mean, the people, for so long, they have been resisting this Hindutva-based political party, which I believe that today also they will resist. And the fact that BJP is not fielding any candidate, it tells a story, which the credit must be given to the people of the state. Of course, we also have to address our own local nationalist. I mean, when I'm against nationalist at the national level, we also have to deal with the rise of the communal way of doing politics at the local level.
Barudi, having traveled and witnessed the geopolitical changes and India's relationship with different countries of the world, do you subscribe to the belief that Modi has been able to raise India's standard in the world's forum in terms of our economy or our military prowess or other sectors? Do you think all these projections would subsequently enable Modi and the BJP to come back to power?
Before I answer that question, I just want to comment on what Pastor Perto said, that BJP is using politics for religion. I am saying, in fact, no, he's saying using religion for politics, correct? I am saying they are using politics for religion. Why I'm saying that is because, you see, if internationally, it has been in the past, in fact, after the fall of the Soviet Union, there was a book written by Francis Fukuyama on the clash of civilizations. And in that book, he talked only about, basically about Christianity and Islam, as if Hinduism didn't exist. And so that itself made a lot of people within the BJP or the RSS that we need a place under the sun in this universe. And that motivated them to really work very hard, whether it's the BJP or the Sangh Parivar, which includes the RSS and many other militant groups also there. So this was to them, and in fact, let's put it this way, in the last election in 2019, it was very clear in the manifesto of the BJP that the Ayodhya temple must be there. They were committed to it. And I think, so they were using politics for religion. Okay? So the religion part of it is very clear. We can debate about, right or wrong, that's a different thing, India, pluralism, and things like that. But that was definitely which motivated them. Now, in the geopolitical context all over the world, one, I must give credit to Modi, he has been able to build up a narrative which has really sold out. If you look at it at the G20 summit, the kind of fawning which these leaders did, from US to France to UK to everybody, you can see that Modi has really been able to impress them. So, to what extent, I myself believe that in the long run, it's not good for India. Because for me, when I serve abroad, I serve the Constitution of India. I serve the image of, you can say, icon like Mahatma Gandhi. So now it's not the case anymore. So certainly, but in terms of, yes, Modi has been able to impress the world. In fact, now his mantra of India is going to be the third largest economy and blah, 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 that is selling more than all these things which is coming out about hunger index in India, one of the worst in the world, freedom index and happiness index, and what indexes, I can't mention all of them. So this is what he has been able to succeed. In fact, one of the slogans during the G20 summit, you have seen it even in Shillong, was he said it is one earth, one family, one future. And it's so loud. This Vasudhaivan Kutumbakam, about the world is one family, forget whether India is one family. That I said, in fact, I said, internationally, we are saying Vasudhaivam Kutumbakam, in India, Dhumdham. Thank you.
I think that's the reason why the US ambassador to India also called Modi a patriot, and that he is strong in his faith, and similar lines like what Barudi said. Professor Srikant, in 2014, the BJP warned on the narrative of a strong leader and on anti-corruption. But now the analysts say that the moral high ground that the BJP stood on has collapsed. Is this the opportunity for the opposition to strike back?
Here, I slightly differ from other views because there is some kind of fatalism among the people, which was enforced by media, which made us believe that there is no alternative to BJP or NDA. It will come back to power with thumping majority. That is, here they have given a slogan, 400 400 par. So now everybody thinks that, oh, that is going to be inevitable. But I just want to bring to your notice the interviews given by Parakala Prabhakar, who happens to be the husband of Nirmala Sitaram. He's writing extensively on that. He wrote a book and also giving so many interviews. And he thinks that there is very little possibility of BJP reaching 350 or 400. Why? He says, up to 2014 also, BJP had its own base, Hindu base, that is 20% vote it used to get. That it will get even now. But what is it that made them get power in 2014 was more hatred against corruption or Congress and also the idea of good governance which they promised, and also the so-called increase in prices at the time. So all that came together where many people who are neutral also shifted to BJP. So that was the reason why the BJP came one with the adequate this one, thumping majority. But when it came to 2019, the issue was Pulwama and Balakot, which actually galvanized what you say, nationalist spirit. Oh, country is under threat. We have to unite under strong government or a strong leader. So there was a shift. And of course, political parties were also weak, not united. So that's why he won with the thumping majority. But in 2024, this Parakala Prabhakara believes that there is no such a way. There is no such a way, though it wanted to create a way in the name of Lord Sri Ram. It only touches a fraction of people and not. And more important became the problems. The problems of poverty, inequalities, and also the, you can say, unemployment. Unemployment. These became very important and recently, because of electoral bonds, the corruption. So till now, it was trying to project as if it is free of corruption and only the political parties are, other political parties are corrupt. Now, but the people started talking about the corruption of the BJP itself. So there is a talk. So there is a kind of thing. People are looking for alternatives.
So do you think the opposition can strike back?
That is what I say. For opposition, if they are united, if they are able to utilize the problems in which it finds itself, and then to present itself as a viable alternative, it can. The only problem is that the political parties, the opposition parties, are not living up to that needs. They are still fighting among themselves, and they are not able to present it.
Yeah.
But still, there is a possibility. BJP may still emerge as one of the, dominant political party. I mean, number of seats, maybe 250 or things. Largest, this one. Opposite of the party with the seats, but it may not have the adequate number. That is the presupposition of Parakala Prabhakar, and I feel that there is such a possibility.
Thank you.
So we should not accept this fatalism that
Yes.
nothing is possible. We still have the possibility, and it is our responsibility to.
Go back.
Can I say something? I want to respond to Professor Shrikant because I think you're speaking as a rationalist. After all, you're a teacher in the political science department. The problem with elections is people do not think with their minds, they think with their hearts. And I think people should read that book called The Political Brain by Drew Weston. He's done extensive research on how people don't use their minds at all while voting. And so many narratives have been created, which ordinary people just seem to follow without any rationale. So because of that, perhaps the BJP, and then look at the kind of advertising blitzkrieg. Everywhere it is Modi ka guarantee. And people are repeating that, people are repeating that. Then you have social media to contend with. They've captured every media space, including ours, And because we rely on advertisements, we have to carry all advertisements. So it's, voting, politics is not an easy thing to decipher. It requires a deeper analysis on why people vote a certain way.
Yeah. So, Mr. Isasan, in continuation to that, people say that the opposition, the India Alliance, like Fabian had mentioned earlier, they are not united and they lack quality leaders. Do you think so?
Actually, to be frank, they made an effort. There is some kind of success in some states. In Maharashtra, they could arrive at some kind of consensus, so also in Bihar, and also in some of the southern states are already there, where there is very little possibility for BJP to get more seats.
Yes.
So the only West Bengal, we do not know what the position. It collapsed. There is absolutely no communication between TMC and this Congress thing. So that is there. So it differs from state to state.
Yeah. So but Isasan, do you think Rahul Gandhi is the face? Could
No.
be an alternative. But Isasan.
Te kumba phikli ke jingkli nga kumba phiong ba ka opposition party jongi ka India Alliance ka long klot namar ba hakum ke jingpai jonga te hoi hakni ki snem ki badang sudah mentah terus nama Rahul Gandhi umpat dadeu ka image hani apo rijongi ban yang kumwe opposition jar hendrai kanang ya kisni mentangi pai ka jing yo jing kersan ki pai ba nileng ba ka Bharat Joro Yatra Rahul Gandhi nadu na Manipur siya gajaka kapa what Home Minister uswan tang manyalap election hendrai bani kendu ya gitu ki victim lane gitu ki longying long sem ki pala sya storm katu kan ni snem lani katu kan ni penai da kicing ya snam po Manipur hendrai Rahul Gandhi wan seto Rahul Gandhi abaya lengba kan ni Bharat Joro Yatra ka image jong Rahul Gandhi lane ka image jong ka opposition party jong ka India Alliance kala nang kiu but ban ong hi ba ka opposition ka tulot ngam ong re ba ka tulot henrei hoaj ka don hi ka jing ya thut nyang bon apreng jong ki party ba pher ha ka India Alliance henrei kum ga jingkli ka phiong ma phiu Rahul Gandhi dem opposition leader lane ka image jong Rahul Gandhi ka dem kum opposition leader ngangai ba Rahul Gandhi dei
Bleshbun. Mentapa dek ni le ban ya kmit ho ban smooth ho ya kajing senshar jong ka BJP ya kini gish post na but ke egi jing ka la ki ba kelawan ra ha ka dri jong hi baro kawai la ka dei ha ka ke imlang ka salang la ni ka yo ko kot but kum ta tar na mar ki bun ki jing kan tho ba ka ki don ki jing per shang jong ka BJP ban pen kala ya ka riti senshar ka ri la ni ka constitution but ka jing le bam sinyo ya ki kam bam sab jong ki dekot ki jong ka BJP hendrai ka long kita ki ong ka targeted approach ya kita ki opposition leaders but karo kom pendon kam baklaro ya ki constitutional bodies kum ka CBI but ka ED but kum ta ter ba Fabian habab hi ie kini ki jingkala ha kan ni ka ri ga jong ye mentala kini ki post na mendai but habab hi pe ye ki policies but ki kom tri kam jong ka BJP kuma omne hakanya makarukom ne hakahok long try man try hatupi what is the impact that it will have on Meghalaya or other minorities in the country if the BJP comes back to power?
Okay, I'll join one word with what they have said. BJP is on the downslide. I believe that it will become less and less in strength as years go by. But for the year 2024, I would wish what Professor Srikanth said, but simply I believe that the residual momentum of the last election would still remain unconsciously. Not because the people love the BJP, but the residual momentum only. It is going downslide. As years coming later, it will be weaker and weaker. Okay, that's one side. Okay, on your questions, the BJP did something that is positive for the people, like bringing up the moral through Modi. But it is not actually the BJP. It was all under the umbrella of one person, that is Modi ji. Okay, but as a whole, it has played a big negative impact on the country as a whole, and especially on the minorities, like the tribals and the religious minorities, Christians, Muslims. But most important is, it seems that the leaders in the BJP lost sight of the basic structure of this country, of the basic doctrine of the constitution. They are thinking that India is just one with individuals. They lost sight of the diversity of communities, diversity of ethnicity, diversity of faiths, and they lost sight of India being a federal structure country. The very fact that we have the Rajya Sabha, which is the Council of States, prove that India is a multicultural society. The Rajya Sabha represents the states, meaning represents the Shillong, the Meghalaya Rajya Sabha MP represents the communities Khasi, Jantia, and Garo. While the MP, Lok Sabha, which is we are going to elect now, represents people individually, not in terms of ethnicity, not in terms of culture, not in terms of community. But Rajya Sabha MP represents a community as a tribe, as a culture. See? But the BJP lost sight of this. They want to dilute all these things. And they want to dilute the principles of the constitutions by trying to do away with the authority, autonomy of the judiciary, the Supreme Court, and doing away with autonomy of important agencies like the CBI, the election commissions, and other agencies.
No, I want to add to this what Fabian has said about, you see, when we talk about minorities, now minorities in what way? One is, I think we have to understand that the core agenda of the BJP is promoting Hindutva as per the ideology propounded by their guru called Savarkar. And that not only in India but all over the world, I've said that. But within India, I think this minority concept, we have to be very clear about it. They are, to them, minority means as long as they are playing with this word indigenous now, okay? If the indigenous believe, any indigenous believe, whether it's in Meghalaya, whether it's in Manipur, whether it's in Jharkhand or Chhattisgarh, they are playing on that because to them, indigenous means also Hindu, okay? Whether people like it or not, that's a different thing, but that's the way they are using it. And if it falls within that classification of the BJP or the RSS, that indigenous means Hindu to them, and as you can see, even here they have succeeded. In fact, some of the Sanghasi leaders took Mohan Bhagwat, the RSS chief, to the Sanctum Sanctorum at Lom Sopet Bning, something which I even cannot go there. So that itself they have been able to succeed. In Manipur, for instance, they have been able to use the Sanamahi belief, because that is the indigenous belief among the Manipuris, among the Meiteis. And they work that. But they don't care for the Kuki minorities, for instance. Let the Kukis be killed and be murdered and be lynched. That doesn't matter to them. So let's be very clear that on the indigenous part of them, they will help, they will do everything, they'll promote them. But when it comes to, let's say, religious minorities, let's be very clear, they are going out, religious minorities are going to be in the, whether they through the constitution itself or by administrative actions, there's going to be more and more oppression on the religious minorities. We're very clear about it. This is my understanding.
Kongpat, yes.
I want to point out here that there are many unconstitutional acts of the BJP which people don't seem to be sort of focusing on. The first one is the loss of federalism. Recently, the states of Kerala, Tamil Nadu, and others had to go to the Supreme Court because they were not getting their due funds. And the funds were actually for relief and rehabilitation due to floods and other natural calamities. So there we can see that unless a state is BJP ruled, it will suffer the consequences of being in the opposition. And the second point is the electoral bonds. Please remember that the BJP amended 4 important laws. It amended the Representation of Peoples Act, it amended the Income Tax Act, it amended the FCRA Act, and one more.
Indian Evidence Act.
Indian Evidence Act. One second, I'm sorry. The Companies Act, 2013. So how on earth did an opposition allow such things to happen? Of course, they used the Finance Act. But even then, it just shows you that even today, the BJP will go to any lengths to establish its own superiority. So if it comes back a third term, I don't know what will happen to the constitution. Maybe it will not exist in its present form. And mind you, Modi is using the presidential form of election, focusing on himself, focusing on the persona. The others don't matter at all.
Baruti had mentioned about, the BJP ideology, Hindutva ideology, and some of the laws and policies of the BJP also are in line with that, like the CEA and different constitutional amendments like the abrogation of the Article 370. So do you think, the attempt of the BJP, to favoring one particular majority religious group, it could well be like the BJP is looking for a way to remove the word secular, and the word secular from the constitution might just be a thing of the past. So what kind of implications will this have on the other religious minorities in the country?
Yeah, exactly. BJP's politics is a majoritarian politics. What they are doing now also, it's leading towards, that goal. And in my estimation, maybe they must have reached nearly more than halfway. Ti kalong ke kabangin habban pikir bha, alor ka jinglong ka jingman jong ka re India hagani kapor. See, Hindutva politics is against the basic structures of the Constitution. There are 4 things about the Constitution. It's about the supremacy of this book, the Constitution. And to me, the Constitution is not just a legal document. It is also a political agreement whereby the Union of India, way back in 1947 had entered this agreement with various political, socio-ethnic communities, linguistic communities across the subcontinent, which we call now India. And number two, democratic principles. A rule by the majority is against the democratic principle. You know, in India, laws has to respect every religion, especially the religion or the ethnicity of the minuscule community. And also, the third thing about constitutional basic structure of the constitution is the division of power among the judiciary, the executive, and the legislative. But now, I mean, the pattern is as such that the executive is, doing everything. I mean, it's dictating every institution in this country. In Habhaban Soto, Namar Kabasaw, the fourth thing about basic structure is about judicial review. If you are a member of parliament or a state legislature for that matter, if you pass a law which will have an adverse impact on my being, I have every right under the constitution to go to the court for judicial review. So that this also is it's under peril. We have to be, it's wary in that sense. Tingin haban soto, tinday da bisya ro nga kandiat bangan beteng. Ikong Patricia manay laong ba ni jit yaginong mikmat gijongi dagajing sngo, mday dagajing tip dagajing sampang. It's correct. It's right that many of us we vote what the heart tells us, not what are informed decisions. Ti kumno bangin pelong yaki brio bakin jit dagajing sampang kalong ya banbo yaki jing sisa kamat jongki. But lingba kani ka discussion lingkot kindian. Arajar khat sao ka BJP ka ong bangin wan mangi hagabor but kilawan sisa ki ongin pinhiar yaki dor ki mur. Barola ya kamen. Nangta ki ong bangin penkuy. Kung bagalong mentagal erang ni mo, yung bangin penkuy. Ya kabamsap. Then let me present here some facts. In 2014, the price of a gas cylinder was 410. Now in 2024, it cost between 900 to 1,000. And then petrol. In 2014, it cost between 70 to 80 rupees. And now it costs more than 100 rupees per liter. That is the fact. I'm not making it up. Then, number two, they wanted to clean the mess which they had blamed the previous UPA government, which they were not angels. And then in 2016, what happened? I still remember because it is personal also. I had to go through a hard times when in November, they demonetized the 500 and the 1,000 notes. And what happened? 98% of that supposedly black money came back to the Reserve Bank of India. And it compels the retired judge of the Supreme Court, Justice B.V. Nagarana, in which she said that the demonetization was a way of converting black money into white. Tell me. These are the facts. Kini kilong kijing shisha. Arajar kanreo baro. Ngilay jenjar. Namar bala pendu no ya galut sanspa bagalut siajar. Baki ong bakin kin pendu ya kata kepisah tok kebaladon haki jaka jong gibriu kisnong kijaka gijela badon gibriu ke bamsap. Hindrei kata ka bagi ong ka pisa thok kandai po na ka sispa jong kata ka bagi ong ka pisa thok kawan phai biang sia ka Reserve Bank of India but ka pelong ya ka nong bishar jong ka Supreme Court of India ka Justice B.V. Nagarana bahkan ong bakat demonetization kata ka jing pendu ya ke sanaja sanspa bat sia jar ka dei tang ka weipat ka lenti ban pen kala hok ya ka pisa thok.
Since we're
Kata,
talking,
ya,
Ngan at kendiat.
yeah, since we, yes, yes.
Ngakwam at kendiat ya ke by Pastor Pertuyong. Bangide bonusir, we have to be very vigilant. Ya ke delusion jong ka constitution. Menta kayai all around misconception of the rule of law. The rule of law is not the command of the executive. The rule of law is the principle of the constitution. Even the prime minister can act against the rule of law if he is acting against the principles of the constitution. There is some misunderstanding that the rule of law simply means the action of the executive, of the police, of the home minister, or of the DC. No, this is not the rule of law in real sense. The rule of law is the basic principle of the main law, of the constitution. Everyone should stand by the rule of law. Even the prime minister, even the government should walk within the rule of law. I want to clarify this. We should not misunderstand that the action of the police, the action of the magistrate, the action of the minister is the rule of law. That is not the rule of law. That is an administrative action. Even administrative action can be against the rule of law. We have to uphold the rule of law.
Yes, Pak Pertuyong.
Sya ngan penkut ngakwa ban penkut bila mai phang rumane sya phang ke Citizen Amendment Act. Ka baki ong ba nang ni sakman ya ka jinglong traisnong on nyoru da ka jinglong ka nyam ka jonga. Katalele ka bala kalabakla palat. Tenai to nginum ya kren namar akabaidai ba ka CA hanga kadon arlai benta. Kawai kalong ka jingma ya kita ki kenhun jong ki briu ki badan hakan yam muslim. Kata nginum ya kren yin ino so surut. Henry yangi ki trai ri jong kani ka briu hin nyok trap ru. Kadon ka jingma haki ar benta. Kawai ka bangiong kadon ka jingma ba yo wan telep ki babun ki briu ki bansawan na ki wei pat kiri. Henry ngim ju ya kren ya kani ka wei ka phang. Ngidei ban kan mau ba upod usam jongi uyasno ru berkari Bangladesh. But sa siliang upod usam jong ka jela ka jongi sa Bangladesh ki donru ki khasi ki donru ki garu. But ki donru ki khasi but ki garu ki bamdei ki Kristan ki bamdei ki Hindu but ki bamdei da ki weipat kinyam ki badan hakan yam tenrai. But kiniru hari Bangladesh namar bagade gari ka basensyar da kawai pat ka kenhun bon pai kisha leben menta lada kitei abagi sha leben ki kwa ban pet shani seri jungi badan ki kor ki kha lagi jong kimyo namar kimdei nagatakan yam kat kumbala batai ha ka CEA nang taas ka baar ngila ruban yakran nakabenta ki brio ki ba ya kapot bat ka Myanmar bat ka Manipur idan bon ki kuki ki jat benri ki kuki ki badan bahayeng sabaro arliang henrei ka CEA kam kentup ya ka ri Myanmar kum kata ka ri ka ba ki brio ki ba sha le ben kinwan pet banyo jaga ri dengan itu pi ki ba sha le ben tam ki jat benriu ki baret pa ya menta hi hadu menta ki dei ki baim ha ka ri Myanmar ka pasensar don bor da ki sipai ti ka ni ka BJP government lani ka BJP party ka kwa ban pin snam kat nang snam kata gidang yo onong na kata kadaw mangi sani ni dei ban ya pikir ina ban bu udak jingkli ubahe na kata daw kasi kamentoy bangin suong o bala pelat je kari ke jungi kata kam yat je kana namar khat kandai spa pra punriu Iba Martin na eren majau ilabu ya gawi petition na Guwahati High Court. Namar khandai spa prapusan kadan ka amendment ya ka Citizenship Act. Kabakimut ban pinbit ban pinbiang tang na kabanta ka jela Assam hadin ka Assam Accord. Iba Martin na eren majau yong pihak ban pikir. Namar mla ba ka jinglong trairi ilani kata ka Citizenship Act. Kan pinbiang tang ya gawi ka jela. Bat kumno kan kata yangi ila ada maham lupa ya kata ngi na kata kadau abang ya keren ya kani kapang kalong ka bajengai bat kalong ka bajeliu ka bangin habban pikir.
Kadai kata piong namar badang hinden ke sngi 15 minen ke sngi keladan ka report kawai ka khubor ka baong ba members of the Assam Rifles had stated in the report that the violence, the ongoing violence in Manipur was incited because of the political ambition of one man, that is the Chief Minister of Manipur, Biren Singh. So in continuation with the demonetization argument that was made earlier by Reverend Purto, Barudi, we know that in 2016, the BJP government had rolled out the demonetization of the 500 and 1,000 bank note, and the aim was to break the grip on corruption and black money. However, fast forward to 2024, the electoral bond scam is staring the BJP on the face. So, and this scam has been labeled as the biggest scam in the history of the country. So do you mean that all that talk about breaking the grip on corruption a farce? And what impact would such schemes have on the political accountability?
You know, the way I understand it, I think the BJP, basically it is using, it talks about morality where it suits it, then it condemns immorality otherwise, okay? So it uses both. So it's very unscrupulous in the way it operates. So electoral bond, Professor Shrikant has said it about what Parakala Prabhakar has said about electoral, that it's the biggest scam in the world. It's true. And why only electoral scam, only the electoral bonds? In fact, the PM cares, for instance. We don't know actually what happened to that. And so much of money has gone into it, how it's being used. So, you know, in fact, now I must say something on this. That basically this election, now I belong to a group called the Constitutional Conduct Group. It's a group of former bureaucrats and diplomats and generals and judges and so many others. About 200 of us. We have just written to the Chief Election Commissioner that this election has no level playing field. And why? Because you are arresting opposition leaders, key opposition leaders, before the elections. What message are you trying to show? Besides using we have talked about ED and CBI and all these agencies being used. So this question about electoral bond being immoral about it doesn't matter to them because, and now I'll stretch further. It doesn't matter because you are talking about these numbers which Pastor Purto gave about petrol priced and whatever in the past. People who vote for him don't care about these things. It goes back to what Kongpat was saying about voting with emotions and Jingsngao, whatever it is. And the amazing thing about what is happening in India today, if Modi comes back, whether with which majority I can't say, it goes back to Nazi Germany, those days. How did Hitler become powerful? Because people who supported him in the name of the German unity or whatever it is, he appealed to them. People who they are doctors, they are engineers, they are lawyers, they are professors, they are all kinds of people. These are educated people. This is what's happening in India also today. So this is exactly what's happening, that you're talking about something immoral. There's no such thing as immoral or moral. Whatever suits the BJP, it will do, exactly, okay?
BJP behaves in a very smart way. Okay, we cannot put it in one basket and say this is BJP. you know, it has somehow mastered what we say Chanakya Niti. Chanakya talks about 4 methods of governance. How do you deal with the opposition?
Or Machiavelli.
Sama, Dana, Veda, Danda. Sama is persuasion. Huh? Win over the people through persuasion, saying that I am good, I will do good for you. Huh? So you be with me, both of us will benefit. That is one way. So you win over. And the other is dana. That means corrupting you by giving you money and others, saying you support CAA, you support UCC, you support abolition of Article 370, we will give you more funds to your states. So that is the other kind of thing. Dan. And then win over. That is the reason why northeastern states, though they have nothing to do with Hindutva, most of them accept it because they are dependent on center for money and they accept it. That is Dan. And another is Bhed. That is creating divisions within the society. Pit one against the other. Pit Hindus against the Muslims, this lower caste against upper caste, one tribe against other tribe, one linguistic groups against another. You do that. And by creating divisions, you take advantage of it. Then actually we are talking about minorities. Here, the way that it is moving intelligently, it is creating minorities within the minorities. You divide OBCs and pit one OBC against another. You divide even Dalits and put one kind of Dalits against other. So also we know in Northeast, pit one tribe against the other. This is the other way of doing it. And the last one is Dand, that is using stick. If you don't accept all that and don't come back, then there will be ED raid, there will be income tax raid, and you will be put behind the bars. So behave yourself. Behave yourself. So this is the technique that we are using. And this technique is, we think, it is, though it is told long back, it is effectively using this technique. Okay? And that is something
either way, you have to give it to the BJP. I mean, they brilliantly did all of that. You have to give it to the BJP. I mean, they are smart.
No, but there is the other force also. You know, I know all these things are happening. But is it that in Telangana, Congress came to power? In this one, in Tamil Nadu or Kerala, Karnataka, other parties are coming to power? It is not that. We should also know that we have a tendency that we are here in a state where Christians are in majority. So we tend to believe that all people are Hindus. They all want Hindutva state. No. Hindus may be religious, but most majority of them are not communal. So there is a scope. There is a scope for a dialogue. There is a scope for alternative communication where we can educate and pit against these sections of people.
Yeah, Kongpan, yes.
I want to see, because we are people with very short memories. I think most of us do not even remember the UAPA Act anymore, Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, because of which so many people are behind bars today. And we seem to have forgotten Father Stan Swami, who died in jail. And I'm surprised at all of us that call ourselves Christian states. We never even had a single protest. No public protest. What has happened to us?
Except Shillong.
Yeah, Shillong. But the rest of the northeastern states, or even, outside the northeast, you had many protests. But within this region, we seem to have forgotten that the UAPA is one of the most draconian acts. And then, because we are here today, we also have to remember that the media is in a state of great flux. Many of the media houses have sold out. They've become PR agencies of the government. And we have a prime minister who has not given a single press conference. Prime Minister Obam Patju Kren ya ki nong talk kubor menta shi post nem. And he doesn't care. You know, he will only give a tutored interview to a channel that he prefers. So what are we really getting into? I mean, are we still a democracy? Last time Rajdeep Sardesai of India Today was asked at the conclave, what is the status of India today? And he said, unequivocally he said, we are a quasi-autocracy. Think about it. You know, I think it's important for all of us in this room and beyond to remind people of all these things, because there's too many issues actually, and we don't know what to focus on and what not to focus on. So for us as a state, I think we need to zero down on 1, 2, 3 issues. Otherwise, you become, you get lost in the noise.
Kadang kita nama pikiran sepang ke media ke basngo si ke long ba kumba Sardip Rajdeep Sardesai long ba, many of the national media outlets have been compromised and we no longer serve as the watchdog. Kalau bangi pet ya ke Press Freedom Index ru haka senam arajar khatlai ngi rang kumba shispa sao po hendrai menta arajar apulai ngi lapoish do shispa la repuway. If this continues, as this trend continues, I think it spells disaster for a democratic country like India. Ngakwaban kini judgment name ngira yakran halor kitu ki halor ka kini ki jinction charge ng BJP ba isasan ngira pe yakani ka rukom long but kini ki allegations ki ba ki jing kano ba ka BJP kebaran kami ki constitutional bodies like CBI ba ke ED kumno like how opposition MPs are being suspended and thrown out of the residence, how dissenting voices are being forcefully mummed and criminalized, and media houses being sold out. Pitarai kumkini ki jingle jong BJP hato tharai ka la sha la chisngi ka future ka jongi kumno tharai kan long lada kinang don chu ne em ki bru ki ban note ban mi shakmat la ne ban pen pau ka jing sko ka jongki.
Pej ha lor kata kumbang ila pej hi ka rukam senchar jong ka BJP pen pej usiam jong ka Assam ru ka skam jong uru ka dan ha ka por ba udan ha ka kongres ka BJP ka ong ba ladang iwan ha ka bor ngin penistam rai ha ka din ba join pat sa ka BJP kam don ni ere ka jing pen trai kam la ni ka jing toket sipang ka skam jong rai ka wepi ka long kumne kai ka ki ek lai tli ki mat ki ba dongkam ya kono ke jaj benriu lani kono kari ke ban kiu ka benengkong ke de ka puli putih ka baar ka koi ka kia ka balai ke transportation henrai ha kene ka por ka ba nadu arjar khat sauhi kumbagi pipet pi nadu bawan ka BJP fast bantar ke ye minority ka cancel ya ka Maulana Azad National Fellowship kala discontinue ya ka but ha kene ka fellowship kibun ki research scholar ki bawan na ka minority status Christian, Muslim, Buddhist, ini extra kio ke jing Arab ka ba arpsan hajar cerong. Henry ka discontinue ka ne menta. Pinpej pi kane ke jing implement jong ka centralized administration process ru ka CUT. Ka jing runang kabun yang i tribals. Haba menshwa kibun pinpej pi hane huru kibayo kibun ki khasi jongi. Henry nadu bawan ka CUT kabun ke jing runang namari ngam de reu tau start ha ka politik saya henry ka jingyu I jonga ha ka puli ka puthi nga pej bhana mar nga represent ya ki khna te habang I pej ya ka admission process ka long centralized lo ha ka PG level ka jingdo nang ka ba pej ka ba bun ba namar ba ka state jongi la don sam thos nem kawi ka state university ru kampala ban china henry ya jing sisang idong kam hadu lai teli sakaro sejantia sakasi idong kam kawi ka state university Henry ngemla wat ke state government ngam song hane ban beli menu Henry kini ke government ke balalai na do kata kim perkhat yang i tribals hane hu kabade ke tribals area university hane ki wonra itu ki kota EWS economical backward gitu Henry ke bomdong kam hane Henry hangni ki ban penkiu susu ya ka sit jong ki schedule tribe namar kibun ba kini ki jingle jong ka BJP lengba ka NEP ka ong ba ka 3 language policy ka ba kaban kong kade namar pindapat pi CBS school kadan baik tang lai pili language ma kawai ka Hindi or English but kawai foreign language ka kasi jong ikam dan ka kasi language jong ikam dan re hapo CBS school hapo CBS ki hikai hapo classic class 7 ki hikai ka Mahabharat kan don relation le ayu bat ka jai ben jungi kide ban hikai sai ka khana tang jong usir la palang sai ki khana tang jong ki babun ki khana tang jong ki khasi am tang ki khasi henrai ki tribals ki babun ka folktales jong ki ka barus pa abha hamal ki liang henrai kata daga NPP ki kwa lut ban pelong be ka jo kami target jong kini hooj hakot hasla ka itnat ka bhabriu ka NEP penapai reality cai reality kamot ki kwa abay banyan yung tribals nado ki forest amendment act kato kiwan ra katarget kadi kami target kadi ka north east jongi te nga ko mo vice president ka union lane ki student union hi habang apet kalong bay nadubo awan ka BJP ki try ru ban di reserve kadon ka draft kawai ka ba penmi ka UGC ka di reservation haki post ki ba lada omdon ki candidate jong ka ST SD lane ki kini ki wei kamut kila ban tap dagi general ladam long suitable candidate henrai abang ipai ya katakan ni di reservation ka target kalong bay bakin penduk bay ya reservation hoi kibun ki beri ki start what ki para kibanani na jela jungi ki amba we don't need reservation. I don't think that we need reservation balai namar ba for example if we compare to those person from North India they are fifth generation or sixth generation. They are far from us means they are ahead of us. But suppose there is a race of 100 meters. They already crossed 50 meters. We are behind. We are in starting line. So we need reservation. Balik in one raya kini ki guideline lagi kini ki kipun bagi guideline ba pinda pule hoy ngaku mo kuna pule ngamde ro start ban ong ba ngalong start hado kata kalian ke politik sendiri gong baik pelada kawan ke BJP kadon ke jingma om tang ya nui nuru henry ya kari bro kowe ya ki kena pule ya ki nong tekam sarkar ya boro.
The Manef he mentioned a lot ka scam jo Assam Chief Minister, and there is a phenomenon that has been dubbed as a BJP washing machine. Professor H. Shrikant, I'll ask you this question.
First, I thought let me add something to what your Vice President said. As a teacher, I should say something about education also. You know, I've been writing on new education policy, the manner in which it is implemented in our country, in our state, without proper plan. And the government is saying that it has introduced NEP in order to make India a Vishwa Guru. Yes, if you want to really become a Vishwa Guru, what is important? Develop public education, strengthen public education, contribute more funds for education. But what the government is doing, it talks about allocating 6% of the GDP. But when you say GDP, it is misleading. It is actually GDP means transferring the private capital towards education, building private universities. It doesn't benefit public education in any way. Public education, it benefits if only you allocate more. But what is the allocation for education? If you see as a percentage of allocation for education in the total budget, it is reducing. I will just give you the figures. In the recent the budget allocation reduced from 2.64% in 2020 to 2.5% in 2023. Just know, education, such an important thing, only 2.5% of the central budget is allocated for that. And in recent budget, they have reduced the UGC allocation to 2,500 crores only. That is a decline from 6,409 crores, which was there last year. And after decreasing, reducing that allocation, now the people talk about new education policy or taking us to 21st century. and all that.
Yeah,
Please.
Professor, we're running short on time, so I think there's another time to speak about NEP and other issues related to education. But let's focus on the performance, and let's do an assessment of what the BJP has been doing in the past 10 years. And I'm not just talking about, it could be good things that have done, the achievement also. Because if we talk about the achievement that this government has brought in, we can see infrastructural development, other than and things like laws and policies like the women reservation law, which of course the Congress had introduced. How about according to you, what are the other achievements that this government has been able to bring in the past 10 years? Yes, Professor Shrikant.
Yeah, actually, if you see, there are many things we talk about infrastructure development. Yes, there is a substantial improvement in the infrastructure development in the last 10 years or so. There are roads, bridges, and all those things are built, which we have to accept it. Yeah, there may be things like trains and railways or shipyards. Many things have come, and there is we are constantly knowing about that through media. And also there are maybe Swachh Bharat or Ujjwala or such schemes. They are not bad, they think. But the most important thing we should not forget, when we look at the reality, we have to look at in totality, not in bits and bits. If you see some bits, hey, are they not doing well? Yes, they are. Huh? But as Parakala Prabhakar says, my hands are very good, my legs are fine, my eyes are fine. So what is the problem? Only my heart has a problem. Only heart, you have only heart attack, but all other things are functioning properly. But the important is heart is more important than all other things.
And Professor and Dr. Parabala had called Modi a dictator in that interview with Karan Thapar, and he said that if the BJP continues, comes back to power, democracy is just going to be a thing of the past for India, and it already is a mockery, in a country like us. I want to ask the last question because we're running short on time before I open the space for discussion.
I beg to differ on the growth story.
On the what?
On the growth story.
Okay.
See, the NDA government now, especially during election, is pushing this narrative, growth. Fine. But you also have to look how they have weakened the NERGS. They have slashed down the budget to 76 crores, where the implementation of NERGS requires 2.72 lakhs crores. So you see, NERGS is about security, it's about job security and employment, and also it's about boosting the rural economy, especially in Meghalaya. If you tour around, many of the roads, the connectivity into the interior of the villages is due because of the implementation, the participation of the village Dorbars in the implementation of NERGS. Of course, here and there are loopholes, and people are misusing the funds also. So this growth story about the NDA government, which is now they are pushing very hard. I mean, it's nothing, and you have to be very, very critical about it.
I just want to give one statistics. 1 minute.
Yes.
This is according to International Labour Organization report, the latest. It says that 83% of jobless Indians are youth. So this is given by the ILO. Of course, in the narrative here in India that's happening today, nobody believes it. But that's what the ILO says.
Right. 8% of unemployment nationally. Of course, Meghalaya it's only 2.63%. But
I think
Meghalaya we can't trust
down.
because there is no data in Meghalaya. But we can see around in Matpran, Police Bazaar, Dankiti, the people who are riding the Rapidos, most of the youths are, doing 2 jobs in a day. So this growth story, I mean, it's a farce.
No, I think we are forgetting also that this is the first government that has not done a census since 2011. Without census, How do you get the statistics right? I mean, we are all groping. Then there are institutions like the National Family Health Survey. When they've come up with factual figures, the government is angry and it pulls down everything, all those data, the data bank from the internet. So where and how do we begin to work? There are too many inconsistencies in the data that we have today.
They actually rejected even NSSO survey on unemployment. I just give a fact and stop it here. Say now, recently the Indian Railways advertised for 90,000 non-technical posts. For that, 1 crore 50 lakh unemployed people applied. And out of them, 255 are PhD holders. And then in UP, 60,000 constable posts were advertised, for which 48 lakh people applied. Now, recently, because of the Gaza and other things, Israel wanted to remove the Palestine workers and wanted to bring foreigners. And for that, many of Indian unemployed people registered their names for jobs there, though they know the risk involved in working in a war-torn states. That is
Yes.
war zones. So that is the plight of unemployment in the country today. And we cannot ignore
Which the BJP is not talking about. Yeah.
Nriu Paulak ki pos ki balaj aga central government office hapding araja khat sawar araja khat khandai ki klem thep mentai la kala bernong arsha laisha nangta san pho ajar ki kam sipai ki bagi sei thep man gasnam menta ki wanra igne agnivir scheme
Right.
but kebalong tang sausnem but
Contract.
hadin sausnem nyopusan na gasispa jong kito ki samla ki balet ye kini ka agnivir scheme kin salong klem jam hadin bagila pendep ye to ka
I want to say something. This is very important. This has not come out in the media because I learned this from these army people only, okay, defense people. They are very unhappy about this Agnivat scheme because you can well imagine through this only 25% will be retained. 75% will have to go back and look for jobs. So the expectation here is, now this is from them, all these officers were talking, the expectation is the 75% will be used by corporates. Okay? So you can well imagine whether that happens or not remains to be seen, but there's a lot, because it has the kind of social security, I believe in states like Punjab and all that, it's affecting now, because in Punjab, every family has somebody in the defense. So it's really this kind of social security which is to get by joining the defense force that won't exist anymore.
ya sumsi banong ba hadin bagila adep to ka agnivir scheme subukum hari jongi kin sulong tang ki anong abding kang ta telapoem ko juk buong susutam ginong tang ginong pinpli jingkang baginong abding kang jongno re jongno
Namar bak ngim don posho dengan ngan plien oi kani ka flow for questions ada dan manu badan ki jing kali so vapi skuba kali wa ngin shim tang artli aimon namar bak ngim don posho okay. Now if any of the students have any questions, you are free to ask any of our panelists. Yes.
A very good afternoon to you all present here. My name is Tonio Escarcetti and I am a student of law. So as many of our panelists have discussed on the infrastructure development that this government has brought in, so I would just like to pose a question to the panelists that, do you think that the infrastructure development that the BJP government has brought throughout these years, when the BJP government is in power, or when the BJP government came into power, is justified, having noted that as per the recent electoral bond cases, there's this particular company that is MEIL, that is Mega Engineering Industrial Limited, income tax raided in 2019 to the office, and it found almost 450 cash, that is black money, corrupted money. However, this same company in 2020 was being given the Zojila Tunnel project, which cost around $8,000 billion. So do you think that the infrastructure development that this government is bringing is justified? Thank you so much.
Yeah. mencuba pi baru di, ya?
No, I don't know who's informed.
No, this, we have heard about this, and we know that all the companies that contributed to the electoral bonds have either been raided, and the funny part is that even companies that are running at a loss have contributed to the bonds, and after that, their fates have changed. So, when you talk about infrastructural development, going to that kind of company, a tainted company, a company that was running at a loss and now has been given such a huge contract, I don't think that it's going to come up in the way that we expect it to be. There'll be a lot of compromises. Already this has been spoken about, that there's been a lot of compromises, corruption in especially road making, infrastructure.
I think the perfect example kedega assembly ke jongi kong.
Yeah.
Nang don siya menu-menu ba don jingkeli? Time don siya ne. Tinggal ko apun ko noy kedega jing keren ke jing tasgi dah closing remark. Na ibai na play jong pi. Tinggal sedang siya ipa isasan ke closing remark jong pi.
Te kumba ka topik jong ka ni ka panels kalong ba ngini keren spang ka kakam ka bala le ka BJP bat ka ka banjal ada kawan yang ka BJP kuma nilai keren ni te ngamdon sibun ki kentin ban ong nilai ka closing remark jong ka kalong ba ki pai ba ki de ban sotu ba banjit ya kani ka sarkar pemerintah hoi ni sotu ya ka jing influence jong ideology jong ka BJP saki we gi jela Henry kumnang ni na jela jongi ngihapan sotu ha banjit ya kinong ikmat na ni bakin poi sya ka darbar tauan bakin keren halor kimat jongi Henry ban pe hi ban ong kakam ka bakala le ka BJP kala le ngang chuang hoi kila don ki kam ki ba BJP kala le dan ni kala tre Henry ka BJP pinda pe ha pi menta ka shule kai berkakli jong kipriu ngan chuang ka barka kli jongi Namar pempet pi kecing cing kerteng kumka Indira Awas Yojana menta kala Perdana Menteri Awas Yojana. Te kamut ka skim lane ka kamram ka baka sarkar ka deban le kala pengkelalo ye itu skim syak Perdana Menteri kamut haka kli jong gibriu kala don pa badai nakadau chongu Perdana Menteri lane Modi ji jongi ngiyo ye kini ki hok. Henry katai ka kamram chong sarkar banai kamdere ba kile isnei pepa kari ka kamram Kumenta senong kenong penipai ki ong bang yok ki kaum Modi, ngiyok ki kaum Modi. Henry kamdei te ka bawai Modi na pelajong u. Kadai ka kamram jong sarkar panai ki pai ba. Kadai leng ba ka food security act. Te ngamdon si bun ki kintin ki bangan keren rei ke jingong jonga ke jing closing remark jonga kalong ba lada jit ya ka sarkar tujit ka perkhat ba bada pusan ba. Ngam yang hene ban persya lane ban yesha ya kanu parti Henry ngihapan rajit ha yang kita kibriu ki pala la panunra yang cingkela omtang daki infrastructure Henry nado ki social security nado ka jingeda ya ka jinglong trai jongi ya ka jing yada ya tribals jongi tang ketai
It's quite strange that we are discussing BJP when this party is not fielding any candidate and we are going to vote on the 19th this Friday. And it's stranger still when the National People's Party is justifying the BJP's support here in both Shillong and Tura, and also trying to run away from the communal stained party. Anyway, bizarre things happen in politics, and the more bizarre the events, the greater the excitement. Ngin later boat aga katkanai terik aga singi thoding. Tinrei ngasukwa manong kato gajinge berten gajinge kerho kimat kibakta ya gari lane gajai benriu lane gajala ampat sim nadan bakran. But nginumla hiruban weng hagapor election. Issues will not be solved during election campaigns. Me and you the struggling community, the working class, the students, henceforth we have to keep on fighting for ourselves. Mga mapihi nginab banyakun. Shillong, the streets of Shillong are quiet now for the moment, except stray incidents of targeted violence, which is very, very bad. It's unfortunate. In Ray, there are issues of the health volunteers, kabangi kot ki asha, kajing kajongki ki yo tulop tang hapreng sao basana jar sibnai, mpadan bala benweng, kidan hadu nyo hajar du prahajar ngut ki asha, aga jela kajongi, nangta kinong ikai SSA, ki badan hadu karar hajar tamli A kinong ikai SSA ki jongi, katni ngalas ngap begini ki benai election, mdan bakren ye ki asha ye ki jinge jongki mdan bakren ye ki jinge jongki no hikai mdan bakren ye ki jinge jongki nong shed midday meal nang ki anganwadi kinong tre anganwadi but mdan bakren ru ya ka jingjot jong kamariam mdan what haki manifesto ru hoy ka ILP lesi kala bernei ka issue ka badan kam ka CA ka long badan kam kaktian kasi golong kebadan kam hinrei kini ki mat ki bakta ya ka jing im jonga jong pi man la ka sngi ka jing kiu dor jong ka bai school ka bai college dan bok banginang dan ke ni hu bagi khon samna jongi ki dang la ban pulis jrong namar bagadei ka university le ka school ba ba bei tingka da ka sarkar lem kum ta tang class 12 lakut ke jingim ke jongi tang BA la ni BSc lakut nginom na syuban beteng namar ka higher education menta kalong ka barem dor hadu kata-kata kumlungin le menta ka don gani hu alis ka management kilaban puli ka law kilaban puli pile chiki wi ki jaka puli gini ki jing puli ya ban pelut daki pau lakat ba pindep kala palat kelur tingka ti kata kabangakwa ban pasat lingba kini ke jingekren ke jongi namar ba ha ke jingelap election ha kini ke singi sosi daga babura manong kam dong ka basna it's lacking in content and once it is lacking in content it limits the ability of we the voters to take an informed decisions also to understand the position that the candidates or the party are taking. And lastly, see, our democracy will not be defined by elections. Our democracy will be defined by what is happening between elections. Thank you.
Thank you.
I do accept some of the things which are said. This elections is very crucial. It decides our future not just for next 5 years, but maybe for next 50 years. So we have to be very wise in understanding the issues at hand. You know, sometimes we get tempted at the time of voting. Oh, he's from our community, he's from our religion or region. But I tell you, we have now come to a situation where such kind of things will go against us. Such considerations. Now, it is the time. I also understand that not all parties in the Northeast are communal. But many of these parties, for their own interests, are supporting communal parties. And that is where the things we have to use our discretion, understand the dynamics. And what is important is, are we for constitution? Do we consider liberty, equality, and fraternity as the principles? Do we believe in democracy, secularism, federalism, and rule of law? If they are important, please see which parties stand for that, which leaders openly come in support of that. And I want you to vote cautiously, because it is not only your fate, it is also the fate, it decides the fate of your family, your community, and your state.
Thank you, Professor. Yeah. Baruti?
We are at a very critical juncture today in this country. And because this polarization and division that is going on may fragment in so many ways later on, so it's a very critical. Now, I'll just repeat what I said in the past. We have just, the group which I belong to, Constitutional Conduct Group, which stands by the Constitution of India, we have just released a book of 72 letters we have sent to the President of India, Prime Minister of India, Chief Election Commissioner, Chief Justice of India on various issues concerning basically to maintain the integrity, the rule of law, the solidarity of the country, and all these things have been taken which have religious, social, economic, political consequences of all kinds. So basically, so you should read, it's just been released a few days ago, the copy is just out in the market. But I would like you to Google the news at least about this. It's called In Defense of the Republic. Please have a look at you as students who are educated. Look at it because it has a lot of content, which Pastor Pinto mentioned about, a lot of content about it. And whatever it is, this is we as the intelligentsia, so-called, we should be aware of all these things, that what's happening in this country, that there is a segment of the opinion, at least who feel strongly to stand by the Constitution and will defend it tooth and nail. Thank you.
I think you've heard a lot of good advice. I don't have any more advice, better advice to give you, except to say that during elections, there is a lot of noise. And I would request you to read the book called Noise by Daniel Kahneman. When there's noise, all the substance melts away. All these days, we've heard a lot of noise. And we don't know whether those who are speaking were taking up issues that matter to the state or issues that matter to the country. Because there's a difference between a state assembly election and a Lok Sabha election. Have those people who come to us spoken about the larger issues of the state vis-a-vis the country? Or have they spoken about these petty issues which need to be dealt by the state government? That's point number one. And point number two is I wish that this sort of discussion happens in the rural outback. Kadai syakinong kendong bangidai ngidon kajing kitkli ke bangin le pun sngok tho lem la dadon ki bom sngok tho leni ki ba shusha ya lam bakla leni ki ba shusha ka peniat kajing mo jing perkhat hakani kajing hala jing sawa bat ki jing ruai naman ngidai kajai bendeu ba shong shit jing ruai te ngam la ban sngok tho balai gini ki wei ki party lu kim thau jing ruai lem ha ka jaka ban ya wo dong ki to ko wei ki jing ruai ya thau la ka jong jing ruai. I think our people, we've come to a point when we have to tell our people not to get carried away by songs or by emotions. It's time to use our heads. Thank you.
The point of our discussion is around the BJP and its policy. If the BJP continues to come to power, dilution of the principles of democracy, principles of federalism, of multiculturalism, and the right of minorities, borrowing one lot. Through this media, I'm bound to say, that Ladamdon candidate MP BJP Mekalayaru, I'm sorry to say, we have to avoid electing candidate from parties that will strengthen the BJP. Sorry for saying this. That is only what to say. Thank you.
Kumrishmun ba Fabian, kumbang ilabatay minne ba this discussion kamut bangin penkiu skong adingin pendram ya kano ya uno la kano no kertong lani kano no seng sai pertai henry kalong bej bangin ya kren ya ki issues ki bakta om tai ka chala ka jongi henry ya ka than ba ya kari barok away na mangi tip balada ki rai ki shna hadeli kan kta ya ka chala Meghalaya ro te but lingba kini ke jing kren ke jongi ngila yo snow yaki jing ai jing mut but yaki jing pes snow ki panis ke jongi ki bo ong ba ka kata ka riti senshal ka pajba ha ri ke jongi ka don ha preng ke jing ma. Many claim that India's democratic values and setup hangs by the thread because of the different policies that the BJP has brought out in the past 10 years. And if it continues to rule India, there will be further erosion of India's federal structure. However, others are of the view, others as in people outside this panel also, are of the view that India is on its way to become a superpower, and all thanks to the BJP. But we would like to know how you, the people, feel about it. So feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below. Te sashi sien akwa panai kublay ya ki panelists ki jongi ki blay shimenta ha kani ga jinga kran ni ga jinga thir jingmut. But yaki jing ai jing mut ka jong pi. Thank you so much for your valuable insights and your views and opinions on this subject matter. Te nga kwa panai kublay ru ya kani husu ya jinga thir lang ka jong pi ban pelong ya kani ka program. Te dakito kitin nga kwa banang kublish pon ru ya ki parlo ki pepe ya kani ka program ke jongi ki beran ha kani ka hall but ru ki to pepe yangi link ba ka YouTube kublay ka por ka jong pi baro.